Good morning, everyone. Welcome you all to Chilau Zonal English channel. Today, we are moving to appreciation of English literary text, grade 10 and 11 lesson. I'm teacher Rasika from Rest Chilau. So how are you all doing? Hope all are keeping well. It's hard time for everyone, but we have to move on. Stay strong, everybody. So today our discussion focuses on marks distribution of the paper, novel, The Vendor of Sweets, part 1, section B questions. I hope to focus 2017 to 2020 because you have already discussed the first part of 2020 paper and how we can score marks in part 1, section B. Also, we are moving to a new structure for GC O-level examination from this year. I will focus and draw your attention on that as well. Also, a special announcement for online paper today. So this is my discussion focus today. First, the paper and the marks distribution. You all know our paper consists of 3 parts. So first 2 come as part 1 and part 2, but 3 parts coming as section A, section B in part 1 and part 2. So today our focus is on section B, and you know it is a selected novel. We have 3 novels, The Vendor of Sweets, Bringing Tony Home, and Prince and the Pauper. So it's really a selection. So for part B section, you get 10 marks for each. You see A, B, C, the 3 selections, equal marks for each, and total comes 10 for part 1, section B. So part 1 consists of 40 marks. That shows how you can get through this paper by doing only even part 1. But we all know as literature students who are focusing on a very good pass. So to do that, you have to go to part 1 and part 2 as well. Part 2, we have poetry, drama, prose, and fiction, essay type questions. You have a selection here, and each question carries similar marks. So 15 marks for one question. You have to answer only one question from poetry. Then drama, 2 questions appear from 2 dramas, The Bear and Twilight of a Crane. So you can select one drama and answer. It gives you 15 marks. Then prose, we have 4 parts in that section where they also have equal marks and 15 marks for that section. Finally, the fiction, 15 marks for each question. So total comes 60 for part 2. So the final calculation is part 1 you get 40 marks and part 2 you get 60 marks. So it makes 100. This is how we get the literature mark. for the paper. So today our focus is on part 1, section B. Section B, it is a paragraph or passage selected from the novel prescribed for study. So usually in the paper, you get 3 selections here. Part B, 3 questions where you have to select only one. Today, our focus is vendor of sweets. There are 4 questions in this paragraph coming as A, B, C, D, 4 parts. So these are the skills tested in 4. A, that is identification. First thing is to test whether you remember the context of the fiction and whether you can identify the exact situation, place, or event. That is what meant by identification. For that, you get 2 marks. And B, comprehension. So you can have to understand the relationship within the given text. And of course, A, B, both, you can answer very easily and score 4 marks without much difficult. And also then application. So whatever the knowledge you have acquired during 2 years of study, you have to apply here and write with confidence and understanding. Then D is critical evaluation and response. So for that, you have to look into the situation very critically, develop your own answer or response. And I will be discussing how you can focus on this question because you get 4 marks. Overall, marks 10 for part 1, section B. As a whole, when we think, novel takes big weight on the paper, it has 25 marks. So studying novel is hard, but it has more marks for you. Remember not to neglect novel. This is our first question. I've taken the extract from 2017 GCE Ordinary Level paper. The question goes, read the following extract and answer the questions given below. I would like you to try the question. You can read the extract and try the questions here. There are 4 parts coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll read out the text for you until you try your answers. If you like, you can drop me a chat. The chat box is open for you. Drop me a chat with your answer. If you say 1, what will be your answer? 2, so that you can compare. Even I can compare the answer with yours. So the extract, I read here. He felt hurt at the recollection of as if a needle had probed a wound. I have probably outlived my purpose in this house. If I live for 10 or 15 years more, it will have to be on a different plane. At 60, one is reborn and enters a new Janma. That was the reason why people celebrated their 60th birthdays. He remembered his father and mother, his uncle and aunt, and a score of other couples celebrating a man's 60th year like a wedding. With pipe, drum, and feasting, people love to celebrate one thing or another all the time. He had had his fill of these festivals and had nothing to complain of. So, hope you all are trying the questions. Question number 1, whose thoughts are expressed in this passage, when does it happen? Whose thoughts, when does it happen? The question has two parts. We must remember to address both parts of the question. Then only you can get 2 marks. I would like to see your answers. I'm waiting for your answers. At least 1, 2, 3 things. Whose thoughts? Because he comes in the extract. And we know who he is. So the answer to the question, we have 2 parts. Whose thoughts? Jagan's thoughts are expressed here. So when marking, what we mostly forget, sometimes you say Jagan thoughts. No, it should be Jagan's. The apostrophe is very essential here. Jagan's thoughts are expressed here. And that is the person. And because question asks whose thoughts, it's not who, it is whose. There's a big difference between the question words who and whose. Please remember that. So it is Jagan's thoughts. When does it happen? When he thinks of leaving the house and going to retreat. If you remember the extract, it is a very painful situation for Jagan. He thinks he has lived too long in the house because of his son's conduct, Mali, the behavior. So even that part is taken as an answer, correct answer, when Jagan realized that Mali and Grace were not married. We come across Mali at the beginning, coming to India with his wife, introducing Grace as his wife. But only latter part of the novel, Jagan comes to know that they are not married. It is a painful thought for him. He starts thinking as a father. So father is, we see a responsible father in this situation. He makes suggestions, but Mali does not agree. We know it is always same. Mali does not agree. So we see 2 parts. Second part, you can give in 2 different ways. One thing, when he thinks of leaving the house and going to retreat, we know by this time he is thinking to have a different lifestyle, change a lot with his vendoring, sweet selling. And here, exactly the age is mentioned at 60 years. So it's a different age for every person. Like 60 is a time of retirement for in Sri Lanka. Even you see the relation between context in India and Sri Lanka is both similar, South Asian. So when Jagan realized that Mali and Grace were not married, it is painful, and his decision comes to confirm situation. So what prompted these thoughts in the speaker? So speaker is Jagan. What happened? What prompted this? He thought that it is impossible for him to go to his house as it has been tainted or polluted with the presence of evil spirits and with Mali's actions. So his son's action, we know he never agreed. There was a conflict always from the beginning, since childhood, since death of his mother. So where we have to focus here, the thoughts, impossible for him to go into the house. And house has been tainted. Look at the two parts. Impossible to go into house has been tainted. So it's there, like he is, like he says here, I have probably outlived my purpose in this house. He have lived long, he feels. So that is the answer coming here. Impossible. And tainted. Right. Why? What has happened to Mali? We know his conduct. And on the other hand, you can mention the disappointment on Mali's conduct. It can be disappointment on Mali's conduct also. As a father, he suffers a lot. Even that answer is accepted. So part 3, we have the meanings. A, outlived. B, on a different plane. Would you like to try this answer? Can you send me the answer in the chat box? I'm waiting. Because it's a time to test your acquired knowledge. Now we have been doing sessions regarding novel, and you could have watched them and you have started with your teachers and read the novel. One thing, remember, it carries 25 marks. Before you go to the examination, you should read the novel at least 3 times. That is to be familiarized with the context. It is hard, but if you can read, yes, you can win the battle. Okay, I'll come to the next answer then. Outlived. We have already discussed that also. Lived longer than enough. Survived longer than time than useful. Lived more than enough. We have 3 options here. You can write anything, but remember, one most important thing, tense. It is outlived. So answers also coming in the same tense. It is compulsory. Lived longer than enough, survived longer time than useful, lived more than enough. Do you see all the answers we have lived, survived? It is past. Past verb is a must here. If you write live longer, of course, answer is incorrect. No marks will be given. So please remember, when you are going into meaning, take the tense and write. But when we come to the next one, on a different plane, it's different answer. It is a new existence, different form of life, on new context or situation for some other purpose, different plane. So it's a noun coming. So no worries about the verb here. New existence, different form of life. Okay, 4th question. What state of mind is reflected by the speaker's expression? This is very important because you have 4 marks. You see all these answers that are given 2 marks, but answers are also short, but they have 2 parts mostly. But here we have 4 marks, whereas you have to at least focus more there, write more. How are you going to write that? What state of mind is reflected by the speaker's expression? Painful and reflective. He has a lot of painful thoughts and he recollects his memory. Here, recollection as if needle had probed, pain, recollection. And even here you have recollection, how mother and father, uncle, aunt, everyone celebrated 60th birthday, but whereas he is isolated, nobody to celebrate his birthday, no one to concern. So painful, reflective, painful and insightful. By this time, Jagan has changed into a different character. He was narrow-minded at the beginning, but we see a different thoughts flying into his moods. And philosophical and understanding, pensive and contemplative, brooding and empathetic, agitation, disappointment, remorsefulness, agonizing, frustration, regret. So all the possible answers that a student could come up with is given in the marking scheme. So we have to focus on at least 2 points and write a description about 4 lines. Because there are 4 marks. Describe it. Why is it painful? How he has become reflective? And how he has become insightful? Why do we say he is philosophical? Describe in your own words. Make it your own answer. That is a place where you can convince the marker that you have obtained the good, you have got the competence in answering the question critically. Right? So remember that 4 marks are coming. So that should be a descriptive answer. Don't write too many things in these first 3. Limit that to 2 points and then focus on this second, 4th question having 2 points and discussing in this question. But it might be sometimes 4 qualities or 4 things. A description can come here. Okay, we are moving into the next. This is same thing in all the answers coming because the other one was very small. That's what I thought to have a second. Right. Our next question is 2018 paper. You can look at the extract and try your own answers. Now you know how to answer. It is a good practice if you can try it here and check with my answers, then you know where you are. Exactly whether you get the marks or not. How many marks will you score? When we mark the papers, we see there are some students who get all 10 marks because they think wisely and critically to the point they give the answer. But there are some who knows the answer. They know the answer, but they cannot word it because they do not have sufficient practice. You need to practice a lot when it is coming to literature. Literature is reading, thinking, and writing. All 3 things are connected. You have to think soundly. It is active thinking, critically, analytical thinking. So all these things are connected when you are answering paper. It is seen in your answer. The marking examiner clearly sees whether you are competent or not. Right. So once again, read the following extract and answer the questions below. We start with, he pleaded, son, I leave you in charge of the shop. It's yours, take it. So starting from that ending part, everyone in the trade is talking about you. What are you trying to do anyway? So we know both father and son. Father is Jagan and son is Mali. What is the situation described in the extract? Who are the speakers? Look, the second part, who are the speakers? Did you write your answer? Are you sending me the answer? If you have any question, even you can drop me a chat so that I can see your chat. Okay, we'll see. Next. So what is the situation described in the extract? Jagan and Mali discuss the future of Mali's enterprise. We see how, yes, very good. I see some of the answers. Good. And we see Jagan and Mali At the beginning, Jagan's voice, he speaks, son, I will leave you in charge of the shop. And then towards the end, Mali speaks, everyone in the trade is talking, and even in between, he is speaking there because he says here, I have learned valuable things in the United States at a cost of several $1,000s. Why can't our country make use of my knowledge? So it's a question of education and using gain knowledge. We also have the same problem, right? What is the situation described in the extract? Jagan and Mali discuss the future of Mali's enterprise. That is the discussion. And who are the speakers? Jagan and Mali. So sometimes you might write the answer in other words, but if the meaning is conveyed, yeah, you have to have Jagan and Mali and his future job or his future target, then of course you get marks. What is the boy arguing against? So we see the boy like, when father makes a suggestion here, I leave you in charge of the shop, but he is like, the boy made a wry face at the mention of the shop. Fortunately, dim light did not reveal it fully. So it was dark so that Jagan could not see it clearly. And then what is the boy is arguing against? Jagan's conventional business of homemade sweets. So we know he's a vendor of sweets. He's doing a conventional business. And on the other hand, his business is flourishing and everyone likes his sweets. He has very good business, successful. So, but boy is arguing against that. He doesn't want to be traditional sweet maker. On the other hand, the answer is he doesn't want to be a traditional sweet maker. So another way you can forward why father has not acknowledged the knowledge he has gained in USA or America. He cannot. This is the conflict always. Jagan cannot understand Mali. Mali cannot understand Jagan. The conflict, there's a big gap, huge gap. So they are very distant in their relationship. I have a question from Amna, like, can we write it in passive form? My question, when it is very nicely expressed in active voice, why do you want to go into passive? And passive, you know, we feel doer is not important. But for this, in our text, the speakers are very important for us. Why do you want to go? You can try those in your language paper, report writing, something like this. This is not a report writing. This is your connecting your gain knowledge to the answer, right? Okay. Made a right face. What is it? What do we understand? Disgusted, unhappy look, looked unpleasant, annoyed. You see, made, disgusted, looked, annoyed. Remember tense. And yes, wry means, wry face means this is disgusting. Look of disgust, unpleasantness, annoyingness, right? You need not to raise hands. If you have anything, please drop me a message. Pointless raising hands, right? I can't cater to all. You can drop me a chat if you have any question. Right. Repugnance for the occupation, that is dislike. Dislike for the business. Dislike for the business. And last, part 4, what is the theme that is reflected through this dialogue? I would like you to send me the answer for that. Try it. The theme. What is the theme that is reflected through this dialogue? We have the dialogue, conflict coming here, father and son speaking. Can you try? I would prefer you to get, make it a try. Give me the answer. Come on, everyone. try whether you can get 4 marks there. It is not a little thing, 4 marks being allowed. It might decide your B and A pass. You might stop in 71, and if you answer this correctly, you will be 75. Okay, I see one answer from, yes, 2 answers coming. Yes, good. Good, I'm happy with your answers. Yeah, good. Yeah. Yes, I see 3 answers. Generation gap, difference between the traditional and modernity, traditions versus modernity. Yes, that is coming more. Conflict between old and young. Okay, different ways. Let's see how we are given marks. Yes, you all have the possibility to obtain difference between tradition and modernity. Difference between older and young generation. Difference between father and son. Difference between Eastern and Western culture. I'm so happy you are coming with the answers. And difference between perceptions to life. Yes, exactly. Good. So go into what is the theme that is reflected. Go into a bit of detail there. So these are the themes focused in the novel. When you are writing your essay type answer, you will focus on those in detail. The same thing coming in the slide. Yeah, we are going to 2019 paper now. Read the following extract and answer the question. Sometimes you might have answered, but it's a good practice again to try. Give it a try again. Practice, remember, practice makes you perfect. You need to practice. Gimshan, you need not to raise hand. If you have anything, drop me a message in the chat box, please. So question number 1 is, you can read the extract here. The cousin took off the whole contemptuously. He is writing, that's all, wants to be a writer. And it ends, where does he want to work? It's degrading. He cried, after all, the trouble I have taken to build up a reputation and a status. He beat his brow in despair. So we see the content coming. What is the incident described in the extract? When does it take place? 2 parts in the question. As described in the extract, why is Jagan worried and troubled? Explain the following phrases taken from the extract in your words. Shook off the whole contemptuously, build up a reputation and status. I'm sorry, the last part is not seen, but I will read you the question there because, but next slide it appears, don't worry. The question there comes, describe Jagan's character as reflected in the above extract. Describe Jagan's character as reflected in the above extract. So anyone trying the answer? What is the incident described? When does it take place? Gimshan, you can drop me a chat with the answer. Okay, the first one. The cousin informs Jagan that his son wants to become a writer. Now we know Mali had gone to America, studied and come back. But here we focus on the situation before going to America. Earlier it was a conflict there. Now here before going to America, how he behaved. Cousin informing Jagan he wants to become a writer. It is taking place in the night at 10 o'clock. You can give the same thing and when cousin arrives with the news. But night, 10 o'clock, That part must come because when does it take place? And then as described in the extract, why is Jagan worried and troubled? Now he was, Cousin was giving his message. We know he's the informer. He brings all the messages and he speaks for Jagan sometimes with Mali. Though Jagan is father, he cannot converse with Mali in a free manner, in an easy manner. He feels some kind of obstacle coming in between them. So he wants to enjoy free talk, but he fears that. That is the Jagan's way, right? What do we get here? Writer meant in Jagan's dictionary. What is Jagan's dictionary? According to his knowledge, he has not studied much, and he has a limited knowledge. So his dictionary, only one thing, a clerk, an Anglo-Indian colonial term from the days when Macaulay had advised system of education. So Macaulay comes from India introducing there are so many people raising hands. If you have a question, please drop the chat. Then I see your question, right? Don't raise your hands. So like I was speaking about Macaulay coming here. He was in 1835. He introduced memorandum for Indian education. In that, only that he remembers, like education provide constant supply of clerical staff for the East Indian Company. So clerk or writer means a clerk for Jagan. Jagan felt aghast. That is the feeling. Jagan worried and troubled. Why? Why is it? So now you know the answer how to say that. Because Mali wants to be a writer, which is main job for Jagan. It is a main job, a clerical work, a person who is not respected in the society. That is why Jagan is worried. So two words to explain, two phrases. Shook off the hold contemptuously. Released his hold. Shook off, released. Let go of the touch. Got rid of the touch disapprovingly and high position. This is how answer comes. Shook off, released, let go, got rid. And we know let is same. Let. Past form is also let. Then build up and reputation and status. It was like coming at towards the end of the extract. After all trouble I have taken to build up a reputation and status. From the beginning, we know how he was troubled much. Educating Mali as a father. He wants him to go to college, not the school college. So, and similarly, we come across Jagan's father trying to educate Jagan. Jagan was a failure. So what he could not gain in his life, Jagan is trying to fulfill through his son. So this is very natural in any context, father-son relationship. And their father's responsibility and willingness to give him a good life, better life. Everyone says that. If you remember the poem Fear, it totally discusses a different level, totally different mother or father who does not wish to achieve materialistic values for his or her daughter. But here, father, as very traditional Jagan, as any other father, he wants to achieve his goals for the son, right? I see the answers coming. He worried because of the decision made by his son. But in the answer, we must have developed a high name because it is a problem of status, right? Find a white collar job, find a respectable job. So respectable job, white collar job, high name, it goes with status. You see, I have taken to build up a reputation and a status. So when you answer this part B section, all the answers are coming from 1 to 3. All answers are related here. They are coming in this extract. So you don't have any problem of getting how many marks? 6 marks. 6 marks you can get with these 3 parts because you get everything here. Even the meaning, you have to try it in the context. In the context, not in isolation. Don't look at it in isolation. Look into the context. Read the text again. Go into reading and then find in context the answer. Right. I get the same things here because that was not clear. Right. Describe Jagan's. So the 3 answers are here for the build up a reputation. Reputation means a job, respectable, higher recognition, status coming there. And describe Jagan's character as reflected in the above extract. He has expectations. Jagan's expectations are there for his son. He's kind of narrow-minded. Why do we say narrow-minded here? He doesn't know the purpose of a writer. Difference between writer and clerk. In his context, he knows about a clerk. He doesn't know who a writer is. That is why narrow-minded. Traditional and lack of exposure to the new trends. That, of course, we see there is traditional. Extract reveals that. Ignorant about jobs. Another way to express the same idea. Limited in outlook, very limited. He does not think beyond or think out of the box. He is possessive and he wants his child to fulfill his expectations. We know he has a possessive love. He loves, his excessive love to Mali destroys Mali, of course, because he keeps quiet. When he had to advise, he keeps quiet. Father's responsibility is not only providing materialistic things, needs, fulfill the needs only, but he have to look into the psychological needs of a child as well. It's huge when it is coming to a son at Mali's age. So his love and concern for his son, any of the answers, you see how many parts are coming in different way, but the same idea is connected in different words. You have the possibility to give answer in your own words. That is what it says, in your own words. Right? Last year's question. We have reached last year's question. You can read it. Read the extract. What's that? Don't you know what a psychiatric is? What a backwood this is, where nothing is known? With that, Mali turned and went in. So Mali is there. And towards the end, we see funny situation, not knowing whether she is a daughter-in-law or not. He was totally at a loss to decide who was lying. So focus coming between Mali, Grace, Jagan. So we know the situation. What is the incident described in the passage? When does this happen? Would you like to try? Yes, I'm waiting 1 minute for your answer. You can type and send me. Because this is the last question, we can practice with past papers. Of course, we can practice more with model papers. Yes, I'm waiting for your answers. Earlier, Amna answered me, and Aisha, Fatima, Saghi, Yuvindu, Binat, Aisha. There were answers coming. And I would like to see answer from any of you. Yes. Right. So incident described in the passage when Jagan suggests Mali to get married at the temple. This is also towards the end part of the novel coming. When Jagan suggesting Mali to get married after he got to know that he is unmarried, Jagan wanted to, it was of course coming from cousins between Jagan and cousin discussion, the solution, best solution he sees here. And uh, Mali says that she is not in right mood and asks him to go to a psychiatrist. Who is she here? Grace. Because Grace has spoken to Jagan and she speaks there. Now she really loves Mali and she wants to be in India. She wants to be with Mali, but Mali is asking her to go away as her money, brought out money is already spent. For Mali, relationship means money. Look at the father and son relationship. For Mali, father is only a provider. He gets money all the time. And he comes back with grace. Maybe he has love, but even love is also money. When money is over, he wants to send grace away. So when we come to Mali and cousin, and cousin is somewhere whenever he meets cousin, provides Mali with some food and drink. Then that is also money. Look at Mali's relationship. So when Jagan suggests Mali to get married at the temple, Mali says that Grace or she is not in right mood and asks him to take her to a psychiatric. So that thing is coming here, right? You can take the answer from here. Or else you can say the same after Jagan suggests Mali should marry Grace. In other words, same thing coming in other words. Question number 2, why is Jagan confused here, right? And here we see leaving Jagan transfixed to the spot. Leaving Jagan transfixed to the, he tried to recollect the words that Mali had said and tried to make out his meaning. Psychiatrist, backward. So like all these things make him so transfixed. What is that? Why is he confused here? Who is a psychiatric? A doctor who treats patients with psychological problems. Psychological problems. In other words, mental problems. Because he doesn't know the meaning of psychiatry. So same thing as you, Jagan doesn't know the meaning of the psychiatric. He has a limited diction, you know. He is very narrow-minded. He is not learned as Mali is a person who has gone out of Malgudi. But Jagan's world is limited to Malgudi. In Malgudi even, his world is limited to the sweetmeat shop, Market Street, even that truth printing, then dispensary, home, lowly statue, home. This is only the limitation. He doesn't know whether there's a library even. We know, we come across that in the novel. Okay, so Jagan is confused because he doesn't know the meaning of the word. You need not a huge knowledge there to answer that. What is a psychiatrist? He is transfixed then. He tried to recollect words that Mali had said. When you read it clearly, when you go to the lines in the text clearly, you can get the answer. So think, read wisely, read very in a sound way, critical way. You get all the answers. And transfixed to the spot, stood still, stood motionless, stood rooted, standing in one place. Transfixed to the spot, stood, transfixed, stood motionless. And next one is tow himself away. Right? Now, when we come to the latter part, Jagan, unable to act. Unable to act, but it is not a drama to act here. Do we get the idea when you say unable to act? Act gives a different meaning. So you have to be thoughtful there. And when we see Jagan speaking here with his neighbor, before he could sort out in his mind, the neighbor edged along to the fence, commenting, "So rare to see you. What is your son doing? He is in business with some American businessman." What, that's good. So good comment goes, very good, very good. On this pleasant note, Jagan tore himself away because he felt that next question was going to be about the daughter-in-law. So what is the meaning of tore himself? Tore, if you take the word in isolation, you are tearing a piece of paper, something like. But here, what is it mean? What does it mean in this? Oh, yes, I see answers coming. Yes, please try. Tore himself away. Look at. On this pleasant note, Jagan tore himself away because he felt that next question was going to be about daughter-in-law. He was in discussion with the neighbor, and soon what happens? He tore himself away. What is the answer? Yeah, try it, please. Try to get it in context. When you read all these lines, you get exactly. Minuli, yes. Very good. Right. Let's see the answers coming. Quickly went away, left the place abruptly, went away. Move away, yes. Quickly or forcefully pull something. Now he moves away. He quickly went away. He is moving. We see Jagan tore himself away. Jagan tore himself away. Quickly went away. Left the place abruptly. Quickness is there. Even went away is given mark, right? What main theme is reflected through this passage? So what is the main thing coming here in this? Think for a while. What main theme is reflected through this passage? Look at the content. Think for a while. That is how when we get separate sections, there are in each chapter we have some issues. But if it comes to global level, it becomes a theme. So we focus on themes of the novel, focusing on the content. Okay, I see one answer coming. Someone else who is willing to try the answer? Yeah, let's see. Generation gap, the difference between East and the West. Tradition and customs is a bit like tradition, customs, they go together. But here, father and son, two generations, they are belonging into two different generations. And East and West, East, Jagan belongs to East. Eastern people has less educational value. Jagan is coming from East, he is limited to Malgudi only. He has studied in the village. But when we come to Bali, he has gone to America. He has learned new technology, new things. A lot of modernity comes. So East and West. Even if you can, those are the things given in the scheme there, right? Okay, so we have come to 4 questions. We completed 4 questions. And if you see clearly the four years, the questions ask part 1, the incident or the person coming. And then the relation there. Two words meaning. One, of course, focus on a verb, and next one with a noun like. So there are some things coming. Main theme or characteristics, qualities, they are the things highlighted in fourth part. When you are focusing with the novel, please see, when reading the novel, highlight the things. What points are going with themes? What points are going with qualities of people? Jagan, Mali, Cousin, Grace, Ambiga, all the characters you have to see. And if you see, mostly we have all these things taken with the conversation of main two characters coming or cousin coming. But we don't know next year whether it will, this year, your year, whether it will be difficult. That is why you have to be different and difficult. You have to be, I don't think it will be difficult, but it might be different. And you have to be very careful in reading the context question because it is 10 marks. And mostly, if you give the idea, if idea is given in other words also, you get the mark. But the keywords must be there, the keywords. For example, transfix stood. Transfix means the stood there. Tore himself away, quickly went. Some things like keywords must be there. Okay. So new paper structure I would like to, I'm sorry, it's not very clear, very small, but as I wanted to show you, it is coming something like this. Earlier we had part 1 and part 2, but now from this year we are going to have paper 1 and paper 2. They will focus at paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1, they will have 1 hour. Two sections are there as section A and B, similar, but there will be difference in question laying, and I will show you that in a while. And paper 2, as usual, 4 essay questions to answer, and marks allocation same here. You will get 5 marks for part section A, and section B 10 marks, and by paper 2 all questions carry 15, and distribution comes mostly for content 7 marks, organization 4 marks, language 4 marks. You see equal marks are divided between language and organization. There you get 8 marks together. So that is how you get 15 marks for essay type questions. And then when we come to the structure of the paper, there's a difference in the layout. Paper 1, we have to answer all the questions in section A, answer all questions in either 1, 2, 3 in section B. All questions in either 1, 2, 3 in section B. That is a selection. So section A, you get poetry, prose, and drama. As unless like earlier, you are given what is the text. So you find it easy. You never go wrong with the identification because poetry, you know the poem, unless you are much aware about the context. Then you have to answer the paper in itself. You see the lines given. Who is referred to as thy? And this usually, as in previous years, A goes with from where are these lines taken and who wrote them. And B, who is referred to as thy. C, what is the action attributed to thy. D, what is the feeling expressed toward thy in the lines. So lines read carefully. The fleece of our flocks are covered with thy sacred new and protect them with thine influence. A, B, C, you get 1 mark each, and D, you get 2 marks. The difference between, unlike in previous, there's a difference in part B, because B, they are coming into 2, but mark same. Yes, I see the answers coming. Very good to see your answers, and you are accurate also. Anyone who is willing, you can type the answers. Okay, I see some are typing answer for the second one also. Check whether your answers are correct. It is yes. To the evening star. And writer, yes, William Blake. So when you are answering the first question here, only these two are enough. To the evening star, you can add by William Blake. This is enough. This is enough for 1 mark. Only concern is you have to give the exact title of the poem. In this, you are expected to identify the text and the author. Only that is expected. Only that is expected. Nothing else. To the Evening Star by William Blake. That is even some write. This part is not taken by. Yeah. If you want, you can say, oh, To the Evening Star, William Blake. That's enough. But if you, sometimes what happens, you go into write a long answer. This is an extract taken from To the Evening Star. What happened is, in the marking, we see they are writing long line, and then in the answer, you don't have needed capitalization. Here, T must be capital, E must be capital, S must be capital. As it appears in your textbook, it should come. And William Blake, name should be exact spellings. Because we have to respect all these authors for their good deed and the remarkable service done to the world of literature. It is a dishonor if you write the name wrong. So remember, write it correct. Yes, I saw some answers coming. Who is referred also? Yes, who is referred? Who is referred to as thy? The fleece of our flocks are covered with thy sacred dew. Who is referred to as thy? Yeah? I see answers coming. Yeah, good. Yeah, that is coming as, it is referred to the evening star. So when you are typing the answer here, of course, if you write this manner, in this manner, it's okay, because we are not expecting the title. This is answer reference only. Okay, it is coming as the reference. I see a lot of answers coming. Yeah. And what is the action attributed to thy? Yeah, I see answers coming still. Okay, I see the evening star coming. Goddess Venus, yeah. Evil by light, Venus. Okay. Mhm. I'm reading your answers. Yeah. Protect innocence people from evil by light of Venus. Okay, what is the action? You can look at the text there. The fleece of our flocks are covered with thy sacred dew. Yeah, it is given, like we know, referred to goddess. Goddess. Asking goddess to protect. Looking for the protection. Yeah, protect the innocents. Yeah, I think, yeah, protecting and safeguarding. Yes, protect the innocent people from evil. Right. Good. Most are writing the answers. Provide protection and blessings. Yeah, okay. So there's S is goddess. Yeah. What is the feeling expressed towards thy in the lines? What is the feeling expressed towards thy in the lines? Yeah. Feeling. Now look at the feeling. You have to look into the word feeling. What is the feeling expressed towards thy? Yeah, I see some answers. Holiness. Scared? Is it scared? Mm-hmm. Okay, holiness, blessing. Think about the feeling. It is a feeling of honor, holiness, blessing, sacredness, like right, sacred, like you like there's a respect towards evening star. Okay, I see more messages coming. Yeah. Divine blessings to goddess. Yeah, high regard, respect, yes, the highest regard. Yes, of course. Okay, that's really good. So you will find it easier to answer paper one because all the things will be given. Let's see how will it come in part B. It is also same. I'm sorry, it's not very clear. So it is also same. Similarly, you have to answer in the paper itself. It's not clearer. I think I have to share you with the, let me share you. I will stop sharing and share you the document for a while, but our time is moving. Okay, so you think this is the way it's easier for you. You can see 2 lines coming for first part, second part, and thirdly here only 1 line. But here you have more lines, more weight. Okay, I will try to show you the next question. Oh. But I think I'm running out of time. We'll see some other time to try more questions with this, the structure. Of course, we have tried 4 questions today, which had been passed. We will be focusing on some more questions, which are model questions to practice during this hard time. So thank you very much for joining me and joining with the Zonal Education Channel, Chill Out Zone. It's a great pleasure to work with you. Wish you good luck and all the best. Stay safe, everyone. Goodbye for the day.